Hi there, in this video I'm going to fit a budget Bluetooth amplifier and a pair of speakers into the back of my recently converted Campervan. So let's take a look at where these speakers are going to go. One speaker's going to go here, although it's a bit tight behind and I'm going to have to do some cutting, and the other speaker's going to go here, which has got plenty of room behind and nice easy access through this side panel. So let's get on and cut a couple of holes. You get a template with this, fortunately. So that's going to be one here. Got my old sailing compass here. 5.5 inch cutout. And likewise at the other end. I can't do that in front of the camera because I'll be working right in front of the camera. But my 40-year-old Black & Decker jigsaw should do that easily. Back in a second. Well, one hole butchered. And butchered is the word because I went offline there because I couldn't really see what I was doing. Plus, I managed to hit the tank here. Fortunately, it hasn't damaged it, it hasn't made a hole in it, but just goes to show you're probably best doing these kind of I thought it was okay looking at that, but you're probably best doing these kind of things before you ever fit a heater. But, as I suspected, that won't quite go by about 1/4 inch, so I need to cut about 1/2 inch off there, which is not easy with a jigsaw working in this space. So I think I'm going to drill a hole there and just come down at a bit of an angle. It looked pretty scruffy, but a keyhole saw would be better. Right, let's get on with it. Right, well, this is called wood butchery, not carpentry. But hopefully no one's going to see that. Broken hacksaw blade. Anyway, that's going to go in now. Look at that, by the magic of... It still doesn't quite go. Still got to cut that corner off. Right, don't do as I do, do it properly. Right, and by the magic of wood butchery, it actually goes in now. Oh, there's some covers to go over that. Yeah, you might ask, why am I doing this? Well, the radio that's at the front of the van doesn't have facility for 4 speakers. Sound is much better when you've got speakers at the back, and the only place I could reasonably put them was in this kitchen cabinet thing. Get a much better sound and much better bass as well, and it's a bit of fun anyway. Right, I'll get on and do the other hole. Well, that one's a lot tidier, much more room to work, and that one goes in just like that. I think it's going to look pretty cool, like a huge old 60s radiogram. Time to get the Hoover out, I think. Right, well, the Bluetooth module has just turned up, and I'm curious to hook it up to see just what 20 watts a channel does with these speakers. I'm curious to see too whether it works with my phone. Okay, let's get it out of the box and hook it up. Right, so there's the module, all wrapped up in anti-static foil paper, a few mounting screws, front plate, back plate even, yeah, front plate, and a knob. Oh, I see you even get a connector there so you can plug it into a 12-volt thingy socket. Just hook it straight into that, and that's good. Right, okay, let's get it hooked up. And incidentally, a bit of a tip here, if they wrapped it in anti-static paper, especially because it's got a Bluetooth transmitter on it, because it's got a Bluetooth receiver on it, I mean, it's going to be very sensitive to static, so always good to actually handle these boards by the outside and try not to actually touch the circuit board. Looks straightforward enough. You've got speaker 1, speaker 2, audio output 1, an auxiliary. Where's the power input? That's the question. Oh, and power input there, of course. Right. Oh, and also USB, which is USB audio in, I would think. Right, I'm going to hook it up and see just whether it works for a start. Well, that's not a good start, but this has got 2 very little terminals, or 2 quite small terminals, and this has got 1 bigger terminal, so I'm going to have to crimp on a terminal to that. Right, well, that's the speakers hooked up, and one little tip here, it's important to observe the polarity of speakers, because speakers have a thing called phase, and you get better bass and better sound generally when they're in phase rather than out of phase, which is why they have a small terminal and big terminal. Anyway, I've also got a lead here already that's going to let me hook this up to some power, plus I've also got a little 12-volt battery here in my amazingly well equipped, haha, he joked, workshop. So let's plug this in. and then hook it up to this battery. Let's see what happens. Any lights on to show me that it's working? Nope. Right, I suppose the answer is get your phone and see if it finds a Bluetooth device. Well, I don't see a lot happening there. Let's see if it's drawing any current. That would be an indication that it's actually turned on. Oh, that's better. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little blue light flashing there. That means it's turned on. Hooray! Let's try this again. Make sure the device you want is turned on. It's not one of those. Oh, I missed these down here. Available devices. Maybe it's CineLink app. Or maybe it's that one. That one says pairing. Yeah, that one says pairing. Pair. Whoa, what do you know? Yeah. And what do you know, it works. Actually, when I first fired it up there, that was a bit of Blondie. I'll have to reverse that track, otherwise I'll get a copyright strike. But there you go, it worked. And in fact, considering it's such a tiny little amp, it's actually not bad at all. I wasn't expecting like Boy Racer Boombox, but I'm glad it works. I mean, to get that out of a tiny little amp like that must be the power amp there. It's amazing. It gets a little bit warm. I mean, I thought I might have to buy a power amp module. I might do that if I'm not happy, if I really want to blast it out, blast it. But I think that's pretty damn good. I think you turn it on and off by pressing this in and out. It's actually on all the time. Press it again. Yeah. Looks like it's powered up all the time. Hopefully, once you depower it, it maintains its Bluetooth pairing memory. By the way, in case you didn't know, that little tiny stripy bit there is the Bluetooth aerial. Didn't know that, did you? Or maybe you did. Right, so I've opened the packet. You've got the back, you've got the front, you've got the board. Obviously goes on that way because you can still get to the terminals and sockets while it's put together, and you've got a series of tiny little standoffs and tiny screws. Going to be a right fiddle to actually assemble this, but one tip is do it on a cloth. One, I can see them here, but two, if you drop one while you're trying to assemble it, it won't bounce off the table onto the floor and you'll never find it. Well, I managed to assemble it. It was a bit of a challenge for my fat fingers. That's the way the standoffs go. It's pretty obvious which way they go because the threads are different on either end of these standoffs, i.e. that one has to screw into the base of that and that one screw has to go in the top of that. Likewise, these little standoffs at the back have got different threads. Plus there was one on here that just wouldn't go into that because the thread was damaged or not cut properly. But it's back together. Let's put the knob on and get out there and fit it. Well, here it is. I'll have to turn that down. As you can see, plenty of volume from this tiny little 10 quid amplifier Bluetooth module thing. Turn it down a bit more. Not really my kind of music, but it's royalty free. Anyway, so I've got the module mounted here. I was vaguely thinking of making a mount for it up there, but it seems too much trouble really. Hooked into my power supply for my sink pump and this little light here. So it is fused. Plus I can turn this on and off as I want from the switch panel by turning off the water pressure. Sound is very good from these. And all in all, I'm very well pleased with it actually. Turn it down, turn it down. Oh, obviously that's 12 volt supply goes in there, speakers there. That's very straightforward actually. I'll put a link to it down below. Thanks for watching, hope you found this interesting. If you want to put some music in the back of your van, a couple of cheapo speakers, one of these little modules for about a tenner, and you're away. But that's it for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out some of the other stuff and maybe even subscribe if you want to see some more. But that's all for now. Take care, happy travelling, and I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.